So it is finally here, the Fossil Island has come to old school RuneScape, and let's get right into the blog. So, in their never-ending quest for information, the curators of Varrock Museum have discovered a new island which they hope will unlock the forgotten past of Gielinor. For those who have completed the dig site quest and have 100 kudos, talk to curator Haig Helen and start your adventure. So you will have to complete the dig site quest and have 100 kudos plus complete the new quest to enter the Fossil Island. So let's just go through the content that the island brings. So first we have the volcanic mine, and you will be required to have 50 mining and 180 kudos. The current max is 150 as I think, and you will get 30 kudos from the island somewhere. So if you will die in this mine, you will be able to retrieve your items by a NPC. So if you're a hardcore Iron Man, I would not suggest doing this because you will lose your status. Next are the underwater adventures, and this will be some kind of agility, fishing and thieving area. You will need to have your fishbowl helmet and diving apparatus, but the flippers are really helpful. Next up, wyverns, of course, a great money making method. So the ancient wyverns will require you to have 82 slayer, but the smaller ones will require you to have 66 slayer to kill them. So Fossil Island has far too many activities to be mentioned in one guide, but here is a list of some of them you can find, so you can help the museum staff by giving them some badly needed amenities and help build their camp using your construction skill. You can clear your fossil finds and add them to display cases in Varrock Museum's new floor. You can craft birdhouse traps, fill it with seeds and wait for the birds to fly in, and you can then collect its feathers and get some AFK hunter experience. You can track a new type of beast, part animal, part plant, which requires about 85 hunter to do. It is followed around the island, and once you have found it and stunned it, you get 1 to 3 herbs, or 4 if you use the magic secateurs. So any leftover fossils from your activities can be chemically treated in the mycelium pool and turned back into enriched bones. These can be used elsewhere on the island to gain prayer experience. So next up is woodcutting. So you can woodcut some mushrooms in the dangerous swamp, and when you cut them down, they'll respawn somewhere else in the swamp, and then you cut them down. So that's basically it for the woodcuttings. So besides the use of the fossils in the museum, there are many of them around the island, and the rarer the fossils are, the better. So make sure that you keep your fossils safe, and that will be it for this blog. So what you will have to do before entering the island, you'll have to complete a quest, and you start it by talking to curator Haig Helen, and I'm just gonna start this quest real quick, and let's go.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find a light in your soul, I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness, even when you're out of focus. I will be the light in your life, you'll see it clear. I'll be your inspiration, 'cause I know that you'll do just what you're told. I'll be your heart and temptation, 'cause I know that you'll make it on your own.
So here is the quest completed. Some pretty easy quest, but I just don't know what I was doing at the end. So now I get to explore the island, and I guess I can visit it by talking to this junior navigator. So now that we are on the island, first of all I got some oak planks, some nails, and I think I forgot a hammer, but I don't know if you need a hammer. Yes, you need a hammer, so I'll just get a hammer and I'll be right back. And so I have a bank right here. So that one guy was kind enough to lend me his hammer, so now I have the access to the bank right here, and I'll just explore the island. So here is the map of the island, and as you can see, this is where the you chop the mushrooms. This is where you will hunt that herbivore. This is where you will just place those birdhouses. Here is the volcano and the mining. So one additional thing is that you can use your dig site pendant on this big book right here, and what you unlock with that is basically a teleport to this fossil island right here on the second floor of the castle in the northeastern side of the island. So you just travel on this rowboat so out to the sea, where you can find a small island with a bank chest, and right here you can go underwater. So I'll just have to gear up in my diving apparatus and my fishbowl helmet, and then I'm ready to go underwater. So I have no idea what to expect right here, and I've got my flippers, my diving apparatus, and my fishbowl helmet, 2 stamina pots if I'll need them, I don't know, blowpipe if I'll have to fight anything, and let's just dive on the rowboat and let's explore around. So here is where you will get to go into the tunnel to fish to get to the new AFK fishing, and you'll have to pay some number lights, or however you call them. Here, down here is a seaweed patch, 2 of them, and the tool leprechaun with a fishbowl helm and a diving apparatus. So this is you will fish the new fishes. You will just set up the net right here and they'll get caught in the net, and you will get fishing experience. So with this new method of agility and teaming, you won't be able to use your fishbowl helmet, and so your oxygen level will go down, but if you stay in these bubbles, the oxygen level will go up by 5%. And the arrow on the minimap will show you where to go. So here is our first clam that we need to loot, and you can loot it as many times as possible, and you get these mermaid steers, which are actually a currency to buy some stuff in the shop later. You can also catch these puffer fishes, and when you then blow it, you will restore 15% of your oxygen level. So I'm just gonna do that for like half an hour, and after I'm done with that, I'll just check out the experience rates and the amount of mermaid steers I got. Okay, so I'll just quickly go to my skills, and I'll just restart the XP tracker, and then I'm ready to go. Of course, I also need a timer, which will be right here in the left upper corner. You'll have a timer, and right now let's start and go. So I have 30 minutes and I'll see you back then. So the arrow is pointing right here on the chest and it looks like it's not open, so might be bugged or something. So the 15 minutes are up and I'll just loot this last clam. So I got 2.9k agility and 8.5k thieving experience in 15 minutes doing this for the first time. So if that was the full experience rate, I'd get about 12k agility and 35k thieving. But I do realize that the experience will be much higher once we learn how to do this. So I would say not too bad for the first time, but could be better. So then I decided I would try that woodcutting method, but these tar monsters kept attacking me and I was unable to go through these roots anyway, so I just decided to bail and get out of the swamp and just go and kill some wyverns, because that is what I like to do. So I decided to go kill the wyverns right here in the dungeon west of the volcano, and as you might have thought, every world was full. The wyverns were camped, the low level wyverns and the ancient wyverns were camped. There were only 2 ancient wyverns per world. I tried hopping a lot of worlds, and on every world there were only 2 ancient wyverns and about 5 people, so there was no way for me to get through. So I decided I'll try to get a task and just go into that Slayer task only dungeon, because that was the only way to get some kills in. So just remembered, as I heard that the Chelder is the one that gives them most of the time, so I'm just gonna go to Zonaris and to Chelder because he's supposed to give them most of the time. So I'm here in Zonaris with the Chelder, and I'll just unlock the bigger wyvern tasks for the Fossil Island, and of course I have a Dust Devil task that I'll have to cancel. So on the hunt right now for the wyvern tasks, and I'll just gonna cancel every one of them before I get one. Let's go! 62 Fossil Island wyverns coming in, and now I can finally go and kill those ancient wyverns just to try out my setup, and maybe I get a drop as well. So finally I'm able to kill some wyverns. Here are some spitting wyverns. I'm just looking for the best ones, the ancient ones of course, and that's where they probably are. So I'll just climb up the stairs, and here are some ancient wyverns. So I came back with a Slayer helm imbued, because it's probably better to do it with a Slayer helm because of all the bonuses. So it looks like they drop wyvern bones every time, and these Numulite drops are pretty common as well. So in one trip I killed about 9 wyverns, so that is pretty okay. 7 or 8 of them. So when you build everything you need to do inside of the camp, you can talk to Peter and he will give you 5 unidentified small fossils. So this is the early way to get some quick fossils, and then you just clean them and store them. So now I've just cleaned all the fossils and stored them in the storage, and now I'm gonna go to Varrock, to the museum, and see if I made any kudos progress. So I've got my 5 small fossils, and I do want to add them to this small fossil display and to see if I got any kudos. So I have completed this display and it looks like I got an antique lamp. I'll just use it on room crafting as I do with all of the things. 2k XP drop, so let's just check out if I got any more kudos. I got 2 kudos, so if you want to get to 180, there's a lot of work for you to complete, and I don't think it's actually worth it. So this fossil island seems a bit lackluster. It isn't really something I want to work on to grind, so I just won't do it anymore. I'll get back to my old business, like doing some achievement diaries, the requirements for the achievement diaries, and of course getting the 2k total. So with that said, guys, thank you all for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.